So somebody recently asked me, what are we going to do with Kenyan Drake? Now, I have an opinion about this. It could possibly be an unpopular opinion, but honestly, at this point, if you want the absolute truth, this is what I think we should do with him. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with yet another video of the Arizona Sports Fan. Thank you so very much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it, guys. If you're new and you have not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it, guys. And if you have not yet seen my 1K video special, I'm going to be posting it right here. Please consider watching it. I really do appreciate it, guys. But we have hit 1,000 subscribers, and we just want to keep growing from here on out. You know, the next goal is going to be 2,000 subscribers. Don't know when we're going to hit it, but that is the goal. So today's topic, I want to go ahead and talk about the crowded room that we have within our running back position group for our Arizona Cardinals. Now, obviously, we have David Johnson, we have Chase Edmonds, and then we have Kenyan Drake. The burning topic of choice is, what should we do with Kenyan Drake? What should we do with David Johnson? Now, obviously, Chase Edmonds is still with the Arizona Cardinals. I have no doubt in my mind that he's not going to be returning. I think he's still under contract, and I think he's still within his rookie year. Chase Edmonds is an awesome second string running back. I like what I've seen from Chase Edmonds, especially on that horrible rainy situation game that we had against the Giants. You know, he scored 3 touchdowns, and I really liked what I saw. So I honestly do like what I see in Chase Edmonds. He's going to be a solid number 2 for us whenever our number 1 running back is, you know, off the field, or, you know, kind of needs to get a breather. So the question everybody's asking, David Johnson and Kenyan Drake. David Johnson, what are we going to do with him? Now, currently right now, David Johnson has had 94 attempts rushing. He only has 2 touchdowns and 345 yards. Now, for somebody playing, you know, getting paid upwards of 14 million plus this coming year, I need to see more productivity from David Johnson, and it's just not something that I've seen this year. Whether it's because Cliff Kingsbury doesn't like the way he runs, whether it's Cliff Kingsbury doesn't think he's, you know, suitable for his scheme, or if he doesn't think that he's trying overall. Now, we've had multiple opinions about David Johnson throughout the year. He's not running hard enough. He's not hitting the holes. He's just kind of running like a 55-year-old man. There's just many different topics of choice for David Johnson, and I am on board with it. David Johnson has not ran like he did when he had his explosive year, you know, when he was with Carson Palmer, and we, you know, had that wonderful year with him when he almost hit 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving. Now, we never seen that David Johnson ever again. Now, what I do want to go ahead and say, something that we should do with David Johnson is we should really think about, you know, trading David Johnson as a trade value. Now, at this point, because he has such a high, you know, contract and a lot of money, what we might consider doing is probably going to a team and saying, hey, this is what we're willing to offer. If you're willing to take this man off our hands, we're willing to cut his contract in half. You pay half, we pay half. Everybody is in a perfect, wonderful, blissful world. I feel like that would be an awesome trade-off. Now, I feel like we could have at least gotten a second-round pick for David Johnson, if not for his contract. Now, because his contract is what it is, I think we're kind of stuck with maybe a late third or maybe even a 4th-round pick, unfortunately. Now, if we can get a late third or a 4th, that would be pretty awesome. At this point right now, all I'm thinking about doing is getting rid of the dead weight. I'm sorry to say it, David Johnson, at one point, and I even got you know, an action figure from you, but I do feel like you're not the same David Johnson that we loved and seen before. If we can go ahead and move on from David Johnson, get him in a trade, either with Tampa Bay, because obviously, you know, Uncle Bruce is over there right now, and I'm pretty sure he's going to want to take him with open arms, because, you know, Bruce Arians is just that type of guy that he feels like he can revive anybody's career. And honestly, he did have his best years with Bruce Arians, so that would be a really good opportunity to move on from David Johnson, trade him over to the Tampa Bay Bucks. They don't have a solid number one running back, and this would be a really good opportunity for David Johnson to kind of, get back on the field, to be honest with you. Another good landing spot for David Johnson, in my opinion, if you have seen my live streams, you know what I'm going to say here. I think Kansas City would be an awesome spot for David Johnson to go to with, Travis Kelce, with Patrick Mahomes, with Tyreek Hill, just because they are going through a carousel of running backs at the moment, and I feel like they need a solid number one running back. And kind of, in my opinion, Andy Reid is an offensive mind and an offensive genius. I feel like if anybody can revive his, career, it would be Andy Reid. He would put him in a position to succeed, and I just feel like overall, putting him in that position will make him happy too, because let's be honest, the Chiefs are contending with Patrick Mahomes, with Kelce, with Tyreek Hill. They're always going to be in contention, and that would just be much more of a big momentum to get rid of David Johnson and getting him to a team that can, do good for him. Now, switching over topics here, I want to go ahead and talk about KD. Kenyan Drake. Now, a lot of people have been talking about pay the man. This guy should be getting paid. I don't care what he's asking for. Pay the man. In my opinion, absolutely no way in heck should we drop a bag on Kenyan Drake. We've seen the mistake that we have done before to David Johnson, obviously. At this point right now, I want to keep Kenyan Drake, but at the right price. If we can get Kenyan Drake for $7 to $8 million a year, I'm all board with that. I'm all in board with keeping Kenyan Drake, but it's got to be for the right price. Now, we got to make sure that Kenyan Drake is signed before we get rid of David Johnson, because it would be pretty dumb if we're still in contract negotiations with Kenyan Drake and David Johnson ended up getting traded. So we're kind of left with a crappy situation at that point. But if we can get Kenyan Drake in an awesome deal, then I'm all up for it. And the reason why I'm saying don't throw the bag at Kenyan Drake is because we've seen it before. We've seen the second contracts from running backs, and they just do not produce after that second contract. And I'm just kind of scared that we're going to be put in that same situation where we're paying one position so much money and the production isn't there. Here's a list of the second contracts that running backs have received, and they just have not been the same after they received that bag of money. Le'Veon Bell, he ended up signing with the New York Giants. I'm sorry. Ooh, wow. Le'Veon Bell, he ended up signing with the New York Jets. Not the same as he was in Pittsburgh. Todd Gurley. Now, Todd Gurley has his moments. I know he's been injured. They've been speculations that his knee is still hurt. But overall, he's not ran the same as he did when he had his explosive year. He's not the same, and he got paid. Obviously, my fourth option is David Johnson. We've seen David Johnson get paid, and we're kind of in a situation right now where we're like, what do we do with David Johnson? I'm just super happy that Bruce Arians took the head coaching positions from Tampa Bay, so there's at least some, light at the end of the tunnel. There's just no way in, heck that I can figure we're going to keep David Johnson and consider paying Kenyan Drake. There's just no way that we can pay that much of a position group, that much money. It's going to be over $20 million plus to pay him and to pay Kenyan Drake if we decide to keep it. It's not happening. It's not smart. I mean, we do have Steve Keim in our front office, so who knows what's smart at this point. Something I also wanted to talk about is there is big names out there like Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon's going to be a free agent. I don't think the Chargers are going to re-sign him. It's just not going to happen. He wanted a big contract like, Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell, David Johnson, Ezekiel Elliott got, but it's just not happening. I think everybody's really, really scared that the second contract that these players have gotten and the production has just dropped off. So I think a lot of organizations are kind of scared to kind of sign that big of a contract to these running backs, and I think that might work out in our favor with Kenyan Drake. I think signing Kenyan Drake is an awesome idea. I love the way he runs. I love the way that he just doesn't get down at first contact. Just overall an aggressive runner. I just like that. I really like what I've seen in Kenyan Drake. So there's no doubt in my mind that we do need to go ahead and, sign a contract and get him in there, but we need to be smart and get the right position. We need to do the right things first before we go ahead and sign Kenyan Drake. Now, guys, that's all I got for this episode. I want to hear your guys' opinion in this matter. It's a big topic of choice. Let's see if Steve Keim messes this one up now. But, guys, that's all I got for this episode, guys. Thank you so very much. I'm out. Thank you.